Hello everybody, my name's Ryan and I'm a driving instructor, and today, badges. So, badges, what's all that about? Well, before I go any further, like, comment and subscribe. Subscribing is free, and I'll tell you a little bit about this. So I'm probably about to take on a potential driving instructor, and a PDI has training to do, and somebody was asking me about how do you become a driving instructor. Well, the goal is to get to one of these. Now, the thing about it is that a driving instructor must be displaying one of these in his car. Now, that's my old one. That's the one that's expired. And they have to display that so they can teach you to drive and charge for lessons. That's the important bit. So they're charging you for that time. Anybody without a badge can't legally charge you for taking you out in the car. So, how do you get one of these though? Well, it's made up of 3 parts, and there's tons of people who'll tell you all about the training, about how it all happens and what the required standards are and all the rest of it. I'm not going to the standards, I'm just going to tell you a brief overview. So potentially, I'm getting a potential driving instructor. Somebody has contacted us, I like the idea of this, can we go and do this driving? So first thing is that you do a theory test. It's an extended theory test. It's 100 questions. It's also got questions about instruction. Now, the way that I did it was I did it kind of by myself, and I did the driving test through a driving school, and then I did my training even through a driving school. But actually what it's all about is that how do I get this bit? And I'm going to describe that bit. So the theory test, 100 questions, you can do by yourself, but actually it's easier if you've already got that driving instructor, because they can coach you on some of the questions and how to do that theory test, and some hints and some tips. They can give you lots of information on it. Then you do an extended driving test. Instead of having 15 minors, I think you can get up to 8. I think. Don't quote me on that. I'll probably put some at the bottom of the video telling you exactly how many it is. That hour and 10 has got to be kind of a little bit flawless. You can't have any serious or dangerous, the same as a regular driving test. And then you get, that's the part 2. And then you get to the point where you're going to commence driving instructor training. But actually, I've been with this PDI. I'm actually going to probably train them how to be a driving instructor whilst they're going to do the driving test, as it'll be in the back of the mind about what they would instruct. Once you've got that, then you do 40 hours of instructor training. Now, you can do it with an audit trainer, and I'm not an audit trainer, but as we discovered, that you don't need an audit trainer. You can actually do it all by yourself as long as you're following the rules, because it's about form filling and it's about being sponsored and having the right instructor number. So if I've got an instructor number, technically I can teach another driving instructor. The reality is the PDI is probably going to get some professional audit training, and that's very important, audit training from one of my trainers, nearer towards doing that 3rd instructional test. But once they've done the 40 hours, they can go on this pink badge. Now, this pink badge means they're trained to be a driving instructor. They just haven't done the last part of the test. So they can charge for lessons with the triangle. And you see a lot of these triangles, they put them in the top corner or some of the bottom corner, and they're still driving instructors. Mine's a bit faded because it was in the window for like the best part of 6 months, because I did mine in lockdown, so mine took forever. So that's the point when you can charge people for your lessons and make money. But the training doesn't actually stop. What you should be doing is going to your instructor at least once a week for at least 1 hour to discuss everything that's happening with your pupils, because your driving instructor might know something that you don't. It's also during that period that while you're on this badge, while you could charge for those lessons, it's a good idea to sit in with your regular driving instructor who's teaching you how to do this. It's also a good idea if you get your driving instructor sat in the back monitoring you, because that's the best way of knowing how to do the part 3, which is to get that badge. Now, my part 3 was a little bit messed up. You get a new part 3 every, which you call the standard checks, every 4 years, or depending on your pass rate or whatever else it is, whatever the DVSA decides that the backlog is this week. No slur intended, but that's where we are. So my potential driving instructor is trying to get to that. Got a long way to go, which is all right. It sometimes takes a while. This whole process is likely to take this person probably anywhere between now and a year. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know how long a piece of string is. Potentially we could get in the car and realise that that person speeds everywhere, or doesn't check mirrors, or doesn't use the correct lanes all the time. But it's a journey, and it's a journey that you can correct and you can do. So anybody that's interested, anybody that's learning to drive, you're looking for those badges, and this is vitally important. If you can't see these badges, you can question your driving instructor. Where's your badge? Why is your badge not on display? Ask them. If the badge isn't on display, it's probably because they're not a legal driving instructor. And they're probably charging you, and potentially they could go, and if you contact a driving instructor, obviously I'm on this YouTube channel, right? So you can see that I've got this badge, and I've got my new badge up because this one expired in this year. So I've got my new badge up. And if anybody contacts me and say, are you a proper driving instructor? Yeah, absolutely. What's your badge number? And I'm willing to give that badge number over, because that's my proof that I'm a driving instructor. And when they get in the car, they can check my credentials on the card. That's it. Simple, isn't it, really? But it's not, because we've found out that people are being charged and ghosting people and charging them lots of money. And I've had a problem this week where somebody said all of this to me, where they're saying, oh, you're not real, and you're not this, and you're not the other. And then they're saying, are you going to cancel my lesson? And you're going to do this, and you're going to do the other. And you think, wow, what's with all the questions? And obviously they've been stung. So, kids, carefully you select. Ask for credentials. If you're getting in the car, ask for it. Even potentially ask, because you've got to do this right at the start, ask for their DBS check form, because they should be able to show you the form as well. It should be in the car. Realistically, it's the same as if you're driving around, you should have your license on you, really. I know it's not a legal requirement to carry it. It's not like we've got digital ID or anything. But should do, shouldn't you, really? Anyway, if you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe. Subscribing is free, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.